proclamation tonight from the office of Mayor Quilt for Women's History Month. Whereas American women of every race, class, and ethnic background have made historic contributions to the growth and strength of our nation in countless recorded and unrecorded ways. Whereas American women have played and continue to play critical economic, cultural, and social roles in every sphere of life of the nation by constituting a significant portion of the labor force working inside and outside of the home. And whereas American women have played a unique role throughout the history of the nation by providing the majority of the volunteer labor force of our nation. And whereas American women were particularly important in the establishment of early charitable, philanthropic, and cultural institutions in our nation. And whereas American women of every race, class, and ethnic background served as leaders in the forefront of every major progressive social change movement. And whereas American women have served our country courageously in the military. And whereas American women have been leaders not only in securing their own rights of suffrage and equal opportunity, but also in the abolitionist movement, the emancipation movement, and the industrial labor movement, and the civil rights movement, creating a more fair and just society for all. And whereas here in Auburn, our New York State Equal Rights Heritage Center has as its mission to promote the legacy of the many women that have provided critical leadership in our state's and our nation's history. Women such as Harriet Tubman, Frances Seward, Martha Coffin Wright, Eliza Wright Osborne, Susan B. Anthony, and Elizabeth Cady Stanton, just to name a few. And now therefore be it resolved that Michael D. Quill, Mayor of the City of Auburn, on behalf of the members of the City Council and the community of Auburn, hereby proclaim March 2022 designated as Women's History Month in the City of Auburn.
Thank you. Council, with your permission, I'd like to give this proclamation to our own City Councilor, Councilor Kent. Thank you. But if you will,
Sure.
keep it under half hour.
I will. Thank you, Mayor, members of council. We're so fortunate to live in this community and recognize so many of the names that Mr. Mason just read out. And I'm not going to repeat anything that we just read here, but I am going to say a couple of things. I just want to mention that the reason we have Women's History Month is because we weren't recording what women were already doing a lot of the time. So I just have a challenge for women, not just women, but families, to make sure that you are recording today's stories for the next generation's history and generations to come. So whether you keep a journal, whether you tell stories to your children, oral histories, interview the elderly folks in your family that are still with us, don't just use social media. All our stories are important, including women, and this is how we're going to make sure that we remember what's going on now in the future. Thank you very much again.
Thank you.